I will ask you to read the article which I used on the test a number of times. It's written by many authors in Canada, where we have discussion of intersectionality policy analysis and how we can analyze different cases and ensure support for groups of people who are usually excluded. So we will talk about equity, reflexivity, and focusing on health components. So look always whenever you read any article, look on the author of the article. Who is the author? What type of stories they bring? You can Google Olena Hankivsky, Daniel Grace, Gemma Hunting, and find out their stories. Find where their passion. Maybe you will find a passion in one of those stories for yourself, for your future, or how you want to promote social policy based on values of equity and how you will ensure that different groups will get resources they need. So again, in the articles, they talk about the intersectionality, and there is a small arts which you can have a reminder of what is uh, intersectionality and how we can work together to address multiple forms of oppression. Because when you watch the video TED Talk earlier, you will see that it's rooted in a long and deep history of Black feminist writing and indigenous feminists, third world feminist, and queer and postcolonial theory. You will see a number of intersectional identities. There is many more as you will keep learning, and we need to see how policy will reflect this research and uh, practice paradigm. So, as you will be reminded that we all have multiple identities, we cannot be reduced to single characteristic. We have many factors of who we are, and our categories, location of race, ethnicity, gender, sexuality are all interconnected and inseparable and shaped by um, interacting and mutually consistent social processes and structures. As I say, it works on three levels: on individual, cultural, and structural. And our identities give us opportunity to experience oppression and privilege of based on who we are. And we need to stop those oppressions from occurring by connecting people and speaking up about oppressions, actually raising awareness, taking actions to ensure equality for all. So promotion of social justice and equity is paramount. So this is very critical for intersectionality. So when you will look on the article, I encourage you to see those guiding principles, which are explaining that intersection categories, different level of analysis that you work on municipal, provincial, federal, you look on individual, cultural, and structural. You talk about power, because whenever you talk about oppression, you talk about power of one group over another. You will reflect of how it affects you and how it and reflects of why it's important for social work, because reflexivity allows us to learn, because we don't have every single identity of every different person, but we are able and capable to understand and listen to people's story of different knowledges and fighting for the same principle of social justice and equity through time and space. So spend some time and watch it, because there will be two type of overarching questions for this framework. What knowledges, values, and experience do you bring to the arena of policy analysis? Remember, each of you have a story. Each of you will have a passion of different groups. And in social work, we need to have many diverse groups represented, because if it's a one group represented, it's create potential for domination and possibly oppression. So learn about those descriptive policy problem. What is the problem? How this problem came about? What can be done differently? What is the current response to the, and what we need to transform? So what ways how we can reduce inequality, and what are the short long-term solutions. This is a process of policy analysis which I want you to learn and apply. So what is the current problem? What needs to be done to set things right? Problem for whom? When happen? Where it's happened? And how we can make change. So transformative is two type of factors or questions we need to ask, not only to describe the problem, but what needs to be done to set things right. And we'll work on this in this course. We'll look on describing the problem and looking for transformational approaches of what can be done, how we can reduce those inequality. So I hope you will have a good learning of those case studies. Spend some time and see how maternity care, palliative care, some of the concerned fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, how they all affect different groups of people and what it means for those groups which are oppressed and privileged, how we can share the privilege and ensure the services are available, accessible. So spend this time. This is the most important time. And in class, we can have a discussion of one of the case studies and see what can be done to set things right. Have a good reading, and we'll connect in a classroom.